So what? I'm alive, I'm surviving.
That's it. I don't want to just survive. It says in these movie writing books that every character has an arc. You understand? Like everybody starts out somewheres, and then they do something, something gets done to them, changes their life. That's called their arc. Where's my arc?
Christopher's story begins in the shadow of his father, Christopher Moltisanti, a soldier in the DeMio crime family who died when Christopher was still a child. He's brought up not by his stable family structure, but by the myths and stories surrounding his father's reputation, and while Dickie is often spoken about with reverence by people like Tony Soprano, Christopher doesn't inherit his wisdom, only the pressure to live up to something he doesn't understand. Tony sees himself as a mentor to Christopher, promising to guide and protect him, but Tony's mentorship is conditional and manipulative. He sees Christopher not as a son, but as a pawn, someone to mold into his image, someone to control. And Christopher, desperate for approval, latches onto Tony's guidance.
What's the matter? You know, I've always been loyal to you, T.
This sets the foundation for Christopher's arc, a man raised on illusion, trying to live up to a legacy that was never fully his, while craving love from people who weaponize that need against him.
Chris is a young soldier in the first few seasons of the show. However, we learn Tony is his father figure since his father passed away earlier in his life. Chris idolizes Tony and is very eager to learn with how young he is.
All right, finish up over there.
All right, you know why we're here. So if you got any doubts or reservations, now is the time to say so. No one will think any less of you. Because once you enter this family, there's no getting out. This family comes before everything else. Everything. Before your wife and your children and your mother and your father. It's a thing of honor. Then God forbid if you get sick or something happens and you can't earn, we'll take care of you, because that's part of it.
If you got a problem, you just gotta let somebody know. This man right here, he's like your father. It doesn't matter if it's with somebody here or on the outside. You bring it to him, he'll solve it.
You stay within the family. All right.
However, he feels he is underappreciated by Tony, even though Tony clearly says that he is trying to make Chris his number 2 guy. However, this is never said directly to Chris. What sets Christopher apart from the other wise guys in the show is his desire for something beyond the mob. He doesn't just want money and power, he wants meaning. This comes through most clearly in the passion for writing and filmmaking. His screenplay, Cleaver, is a thinly veiled revenge fantasy. While it's often played for laughs in the show, it is also a key window into Christopher's psyche. The movie reflects his deep resentment toward Tony and his own internalized feelings of betrayal and emasculation. Hollywood, for Christopher, represents a chance to break free, to tell his true story, to create something that isn't tainted by crime and blood. But like everything else in his life, this dream is corrupted by the world he's trapped in. The financing for Cleaver comes directly from mob money. The people involved are more interested in exploitation than expression. His dreams just become another extension of the life he's trying to escape. This tension between his artistic aspirations and his criminal obligations make Christopher one of the show's most tragic figures. He wants to be more than a mobster, but the mob won't let him be anything else. Despite this, Chris falls into drug abuse and leads to the deterioration of his relationship between him and Tony and with his fiancée, Adriana. His battle with heroin and coke and alcohol became so bad that he sat on and killed his own dog.
You're high all the time and I can't take it.
Be specific, hon.
When we first started going out, We made love all the time. Now, because of the drugs,
Jesus, is this fucking necessary?
Go ahead, Adriana.
you can no longer function as a man. Last week, when I came home to learn that you had killed our dog, that was the final straw.
Oh. You killed the dog. What'd you do that for?
It was an accident.
What was it, barking?
He sat on the while he was high.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I fell asleep. She got suffocated.
I had to suffocate you, you little prick.
Tony, we're going in.
Chrissy's arc ends in Season 6, Episode 6, Kennedy and Heidi. After crashing a car while high, with Tony in the passenger seat, Christopher finds himself injured but alive. He mumbles about how he wouldn't pass a drug test, and in that moment, Tony makes a decision. He kills him. He pinches Christopher's nose shut, suffocating him, and watches as he dies, calmly, coldly, without hesitation. It's one of the most shocking and symbolic moments in the series. Tony doesn't just kill Christopher because he's a liability, he kills him because he sees no more use for him. All the years of mentorship, of promises, of surrogate fatherhood, reduced to a moment of convenience. It's a final betrayal that cements the tragedy of Christopher's life. He was truly never loved, only used. He was never truly seen, only judged. He died not in the blaze of glory, but in silence, murdered by the man he thought he would protect him, choking on blood.